Alright, so let's start our today's video. In our previous video, we have studied section 3.2.1 that was about magnetic field at a point along the axial line of the magnetic dipole or bar magnet. Okay, so this topic was too much interesting, and also it is correlated to electric field at a point along the axial line of electric dipole, which we have already seen in our previous units video. Okay, so fine, so we will start today from the next topic, that is section 3.2.2, that is magnetic field at a point along the equatorial line due to a magnetic dipole or bar magnet. See, it is same as magnetic field, electric field at a point along the equatorial line due to a electric dipole, which we already have seen. Okay, the diagram here will be same. Okay, only there will be some change in the theories, but even if you remember the formula for that, okay, which we have seen for electric field, and here the formula for magnetic field, it will be same. Okay, it will be similar in comparison. Okay, so same thing which this figure we already have seen in electrical field. Instead, a bar magnet, we have seen this in the case of electric dipole, where we had two charges, okay, equally in magnitude, and gap between them, a very small gap between them. Okay, so fine, let us start the same concept in consideration with magnetic field or magnetism. Okay, consider a bar magnet Ns as shown in figure 3.17. okay, wherever you have to denote bar magnet, it is always denoted as Ns. Okay, north south poles. Okay, you cannot it is customary to denote the bar magnet with Ns. Don't write A, B, C, D or something else. Okay, let N with the north pole and S with the south pole of the bar magnet, each with pole strength Qm. Okay, so here you can see we have a bar magnet Ns, okay, and the pole strength of north pole or either south pole is Qs. Okay, Qm, sorry. Here the distance from the center to either north pole or either south pole is L. That means the distance from pole to pole is 2L. That is, D is equal to 2L, as we have seen earlier. Okay, and also keep in mind that the geometric distance and the magnetic distance or polar distance are two different terms. Okay, and they are not the same quantity. Okay, fine. So moving forward. Okay, the magnetic field at a point C, we have to find at a distance r from the geometrical center O of the bar magnet, can be computed by keeping unit north pole. Okay, that is QMC is equal to 1 ampere meter. Okay, at C. Okay, so in this figure, at this point C, we have a unit north pole. Okay, and we know very well that like poles repel and alike poles attract. Okay, and because of that, the north pole and north pole will repel. Okay, so the force because of north pole acting at point C will be in this direction. Okay, and then south pole and this unit north pole will attract, so the force here will be in towards south pole as given here. Okay, as you can see in the diagram. So now it is clear. Now what you have to do is, here it is just like two different vectors. Okay, one towards this Bn and one towards this Bs. Okay, and we have to find the magnetic field at point C. Okay, so the resultant will be somewhere in this direction. Okay, it is just like one vector is like this way, another vector is like this way, their magnitude is same, then the resultant vector will be somewhere in this way. Okay, which will lie at equal angles from both the vectors, because both of them are of same magnitude. Okay, which we have seen in standard 11th vector physics. Okay, physics is very easy as compared to chemistry, but even if you learn chemistry well, it will become interesting. Okay, fine. So now coming back to the theory of the book. always remember that at point C we have a bar magnet whose QMC is equal to, sorry, at point C we have a unit north pole magnet, okay, which has the value QM is equal to 1 ampere meter. The force experienced by unit north pole at C due to pole strength NS can be computed using Coulomb's law of magnetism as follows. Okay, so here we have to find total force or total resultant at point C because of this bar magnet. Okay, and as you see in this figure, in this diagram, that C is lying perpendicular to NS. Okay, that is CO is lying perpendicular to NS, and point C is equidistant from point N and point S. So here we will have CS is equal to Cn. Always remember that. Okay, if you use the Pythagoras theorem, okay, to find out what is the length of this Cn or Cs, that it will become a right angle triangle, and here you have to find the length of hypotenuse. It will become r dash is equal to a square root of r square plus l square. Okay, r square plus l square. Fine. The force of repulsion between north pole of the bar magnet and unit north pole at point C, okay, is given by Fn is equal to minus Fn cos theta I cap plus Fn sin theta j cap. Okay, so here as you can see, this is force, okay, and you have to resolve this into x component and y component. Okay, so it is just like this. You have x axis and y axis. Okay, then this is a vector, suppose this is vector f, okay, and what is here given is this angle is theta. Okay, then this angle from here to here, it will be 180 degree minus theta. Okay, now resolve this force into x component and y component. We know very well that x component of a vector r is equal to r cos theta, and x component of vector r in y component is r sin theta. So here its x component will become f cos 180 degree, sorry, my handwriting is very bad, minus theta, that is equal to minus f cos theta, because cos 180 minus theta is equal to minus cos theta. So it will become minus f cos theta I cap, as given here, minus fn cos theta I cap. Okay, then its y component will become f sin 180 degree minus theta, and we know very well that sin 180 degree minus theta is equal to sin theta, because this will lie in the second quadrant, and in second quadrant sin theta is positive, so this will become f sin theta. So here, because this force is Fn, its y component will become Fn sin theta I cap, as given here, Fn sin theta, sorry, j cap in y axis direction. So this is the total force, okay, acting on C because of north pole of bar magnet. Okay, so let me erase all these things. Likewise, you have to find the component of Fs. Okay, it will be same as Fs cos theta in x axis and Fs sin theta in y axis, where there the angle made will become 180 degree plus theta. Okay, because Fs lies in third quadrant. Okay, so here we know very well that Fn is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into Qm by r dash square, where r dash is this distance, that is Cn. Okay, just substitute the values here. Okay, then the force of attraction in free space between south pole of the bar magnet and unit north pole at point C, okay, will be given like this way, that is Fs is equal to minus Fs cos theta I cap minus Fs sin theta j cap. Why this has happened? Because see, you have x axis, y axis, and this Fs. Okay, let me change the color of the pen for clear visualization. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, so see, this Fs, okay, will be like this way. Okay, that it is lying in the third quadrant okay, and the angle here is theta. Okay, so in that situation, its angle with positive x-axis in anti-clockwise direction, this angle will become 180 degree plus theta. Okay, I am telling you once again, my handwriting is very bad, and also to write these things I use my mouse. Okay, that is also not clear. Alright, so you are clear here how to take the angles, what quadrant Fn and Fs will lie. Okay, so now let me erase this thing for clear visualization. Just a moment. Very good. Alright. Let me erase this thing also for the previous Fn. Okay, I hope you have understood how to resolve the vector in x-axis component and y-axis component. Maybe it's very simple, just like the concept of class 11th. Alright. Okay, so here the component of Fs, because it lies in third quadrant, we will have its x component will become Fs cos 180 degree plus theta. Okay, just writing the magnitude, it is equal to minus Fs cos theta, because in third quadrant cos is negative, and also because it is the x-axis component, we can write here I cap denote in vector form. So this will become vector form. Likewise, the y component of Fs can be written as this one, Fs sin 180 degree plus theta. Okay, sin 180 plus theta is equal to minus sin theta, so it will become minus Fs sin theta j cap. Okay, when we write this in vector form. So here the x component and y component of Fs will become minus Fs cos theta I cap and minus Fs sin theta j cap respectively. Okay, so total Fs can be written as in equation 3.16. if you see here, if you see in the book, that is minus Fs cos theta I cap minus Fs sin theta j cap. Okay, alright. Moving forward, there Fs will be equal to mu naught by 4 pi into Qm by r dash square. Okay, we know very well that magnetic force at a point because of magnet can be given by mu naught by 4 pi into Qm by r square. Okay, or k Qm by r square, where k is equal to mu naught by 4 pi, as we have seen in our previous video. Okay, if you have missed that video, I am requesting you to go to the previous video and watch it all. I will add a card. Okay, so there, from there you can see it. Okay, just a moment. Alright, now from equation 3.15, okay, which we have already got here, and 3.16, the net force at point C will be equal to the sum of forces because of north pole and south pole of the bar magnet. Okay, so just add it. So total magnetic field, okay, is equal to minus Fn plus Fs cos theta I cap. Here we haven't taken the term of sin theta j cap y because they are the y components of both the forces Fs and Fn are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction, so they will cross each other. That is, Fn sin theta j cap and Fn sin theta minus j cap will cross each other. So we haven't taken there the sin theta component or the y-axis component. Okay, since Fn is equal to Fs. Okay, so vector B is equal to minus 2 mu naught by 4 pi into Qm by r dash square into cos theta I cap. Okay, just substitute. See, For Fn we will have mu naught by 4 pi into Qm by r dash square cos theta I cap, and for Fs we will have again the same term. So adding both the terms, okay, we will get 2 mu cap. Okay, so don't get confused over here. So it will, now we have to write the value of r dash square. Okay, we get the value of r dash square from this diagram. So r dash square is this value, r dash square. Here it is just r dash, so r dash square, if you write a square here, it will cancel out. Okay, root will cancel out and you will get a square, r square plus l square. Okay, so here at the place of r dash square we can substitute r square plus l square. Okay, so in the right angle triangle NOC, okay, again coming to figure 3.17, let me erase all those things, all the written things here for clear visualization. Okay, okay. Okay, so in right angle triangle NOC, if you see here, okay, we have cos theta is equal to L by R dash. Okay, that is, you know very well that cos theta is equal to B by H, so cos theta is equal to L by R dash. Okay, just substitute that value. Cos theta is equal to L by R dash is equal to L by root of r square plus l square. Now substitute this value of cos theta in this equation 3.17. What do we get is v vector b is equal to minus mu naught by 4 pi into Qm into 2l by r square plus l square to the power 3 by 2 into I cap. Okay, so just substitute all the values. Since magnitude of magnetic dipole moment is given by Qm into 2L. Okay, so here Qm into 2L will become Pm. Okay, substitute this in equation 3.19. we will get vector B at equatorial point is equal to minus mu naught by 4 pi into Pm by r square plus l square to the power 3 by 2 into I cap. Okay, if the distance between two poles in the bar magnet are small, that means if suppose distance 2L is far smaller, this 2L is far smaller than this distance R. So in this situation what can happen here is, okay, when compared to the distance between the geometric center O of the bar magnet and the location point C, okay, in that situation we can write r square plus l square to the power 3 by 2 is equal to rq. So what happens here is, if L is far smaller, in that situation, sorry, what have I written here? If r is far bigger than 2L, okay, in that situation this term will cancel out and we will get r square to the power 3 by 2. This 2 and 2 will cancel out and we will get rq as given here. Okay, fine. So this equation 3.21 will become magnetic field at equatorial point is equal to minus mu naught by 4 pi into Pm by rq into I cap. Okay, since Pm I cap is equal to Pm, okay, in general the magnetic field at equatorial point is given by minus mu naught by 4 pi into Pm by rq. Here minus sign indicates that its direction is in opposite of x-axis, or that is negative x-axis direction. Okay, very well. So this is all about the magnitude of B on axial point. Okay, as you consider the value of B in equatorial line and axial line, okay, the magnitude on axial line is twice that of magnitude on equatorial. Okay, and the direction of V axial and V equatorial are opposite. Okay, so as you compare here, the direction of magnetic field at point C is towards minus x-axis direction. Okay, but in previous class we have seen that when we have taken the point on axial line, okay, we had the direction of V total or resultant B was in 1 minute, positive x-axis direction. As you can see here, we have got here in positive x-axis direction. Okay, and axial line field is twice of that of equatorial line point. Okay, so this is all about magnetic field at a point along the equatorial line due to a magnetic dipole or bar magnet. Okay, so I hope this video has become very interesting and you have learned a lot of things here. Okay, in next video we will study about section 3.3, that is torque acting on a bar magnet in uniform magnetic field. But wait, okay, I have missed example 3.6. let us do this, try to understand this. A short bar magnet has a magnetic moment B is 0.5 joule per Tesla. Calculate magnitude and direction of magnetic field produced by the bar magnet, which is kept at a distance of 0.1 meter from the center of bar magnet along axial line and the normal bisector means equatorial line. Fine. So here it is given magnetic moment is 0.5 joule per Tesla and distance of the point, okay, is 0.1 meter. Fine. When the point lies on axial line of the bar magnet, the magnetic field will be given by B axial. Vector B axial is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into 2 pm by r cube into I cap. So just substitute the value. Mu naught by 4 pi is 10 to the power minus 7. Okay, then 2 into pm value is 0.5 by r cube. R is 0.1, so meter, so 0.1 to the whole cube. It will give you 1 into 10 to the power minus 4 Tesla into I cap, that is in x-axis direction. Okay, hence the magnitude of the magnetic field along the axial line, that is B axial, is equal to 1 into 10 to the power minus 4 Tesla. Okay, towards south to north or towards the positive x-axis direction. Okay, coming to point B. Okay, question B. When the point lies on normal bisector or equatorial line of the bar magnet, then magnetic field B equatorial is given by minus mu naught by 4 pi into pm by r cube into I cap. So just substitute the values. You will get vector B equatorial is equal to minus 0.5 into 10 to the power minus 4 Tesla into I cap. Okay, so hence we have it is given here minus. Okay, that means in negative x-axis direction or north to south. Okay, so as in this example 3.3, you can see that B axial is twice of B equatorial in magnitude but opposite in direction. Fine. So I hope everything about this topic is clear. I request you all that if you have any doubt, if you want to ask any question, any query, anything, you can write that into the comment section of this video. Okay, the best innovative question, the person will get a reward, okay, and a goodie. And also when you are writing the comment, please mention your name, your place and a school's name, so that I will say that in the next video. Okay, the question answer session will happen, or I will do on every Sunday. Okay, every Sunday around 1 or 2 pm it will come live. Fine. So till my next video, that is about section 3.3, take care of yourself. Bye bye.